Hey everybody, let's have a very uncomfortable conversation about pet death. Pets passing away. Now, if a pet has been with you for many years and has grown old in your family, you're going to have a couple options that are going to happen. Either you're going to have to make a decision to euthanize your pet due to an illness or a condition that prevents quality of life, or your pet is going to just pass away naturally at home. And both these are very common. Now, if your pet has to be euthanized at the veterinary clinic, you can expect after loading your pet up to get your pet there that you're going to set through the euthanasia, and then once the euthanasia has taken place and your pet has passed, your pet will then be preserved in a cool environment, either a room or a freezer, until the cremation facility arrives to take care of your pet. Their cremains would be delivered back to that facility, and then you would be called for pickup at that time. It's a very cut and dry process. Now, if your pet happens to pass away at home, you're going to have basically the same options, you just have more to do. So the first thing you're going to want to do if a pet passes away at home is to gently wrap the pet up. That's going to preserve the pet and keep flies and stuff from infesting the animal. That's an essential part of this. You want to make sure they have a respectful passing. That's the first thing you do, is just make sure nothing's crawling on them. It'll also act as an absorbent material that will help protect your soft materials, because when a pet passes away, just like anything else passes away, it will lose its bowels and it will lose its bladder and it will leak these things out. And that's just a natural process, so be expecting it. It's never pleasant. But by wrapping the pet up after it's passed, you can prevent a lot of these things from becoming nastier than they should be. Even though it's natural, it's just not pleasant. Now, once your pet has been wrapped up and there is no infestation or anything like that, you're going to want to move the pet into a cool area. If it's in your yard and you can't move the pet any further, make sure the pet's in the shade, or put something over the pet to create shade. That way it is just a little bit cooler. If the pet happens to be indoors, you're just going to want to make sure the pet, again, is not on any soft surfaces, because there is going to be some fluid that you're going to have to mitigate later. So just move the pet generally down to a hard surface in a cool area, and that's when you get to start making your next decision. So you have to figure out where you're going to take the pet at this time. Are you going to take it to a facility yourself? Are you relying on your veterinary clinic to take care of this, or is there another option? So what you're going to do, once you figure out where the pet is going, you're going to want to move the pet to your vehicle, and if it's a large pet, get help. You're going to want help. If it's a small pet, just again make sure it's in a waterproof container of some sort, because you're going to be loading this pet into your vehicle to transport. Now, once the pet is in there, expect there's going to be smells. That's just part of death, and that's a real conversation and something you need to know to expect, because it will catch you off guard sometimes. Now, once you've got the pet in the vehicle, hopefully in a watertight, waterproof container of some sort, you transport the pet wherever that happens to be. If it's your local vet, you take it down the road during their business hours, or you take it to the facility yourself during their business hours. And hopefully this is during business hours and you don't have to wait, because all those other things I just said get worse with time. Now, keeping that in mind, I'm not trying to scare anybody with this, but time is of the essence. You don't want a pet to wait around in a home or in a warm environment for any length of time due to everything I just mentioned previously. It's just part of the process, and even though we may need more time ourselves sometimes, there's not time there after a certain point. So you need to make sure this is a decision you're making quickly, and you understand these are things that are time efficient. You got to be on that. Now, that's once you get the pet to the facility, the cremation facility, they will take over from there. You buy the package, pick the memorials that you want, and then once that process has been respectfully completed, they're going to call you, and then you're going to have to come back up there during those same business hours and collect your pet. Now, we've talked about the first two options of what to do, how to do, and all that. Here's my side of this. The Final Ride Pet Cremation Services, when you have a pet that has been deceased, whether it be through euthanasia or naturally at home, you can call the Final Ride. They will come directly to your home or to the park or to the veterinary clinic, wherever you happen to be, and respectfully collect your pet. Once your pet has been collected respectfully, the transport to the crematory facility is immediate. That is the next stop. There's no cold storage. There's no anything other than let's start this process to respectfully take care of your past pet. Once we have the pet collected, immediate transport to the cremation facility, that process starts. We collect the prints and the memorials that you've chosen, and then they go into the cremation process. Once the cremation process starts, it is non-stop until it gets into the final process of the putting your package together. If you've ordered the clay paw prints, or you've ordered ceramic paw prints, or whatever you've ordered, the jewelry, any of that, it takes that time to get those pieces together, and they create the cremation certificate if you had a private cremation. That just basically makes sure you know you're getting the correct pet and the correct ashes, and these things are being cared for with this process. Once this process is respectfully completed and your package is complete, I would then contact you for delivery, and we would just deliver back to your home, wherever that happens to be in our area. So we try to take all the extra legwork out. You shouldn't have to do a lot of them processes. You can just call the Final Ride and they'll take care of those processes for you immediately. That's kind of the distinction between the veterinary clinics and using the facilities yourself and choosing the Final Ride. And that's kind of how I want everybody to understand this business is not to take business from other businesses. It is to help pet parents in their time of need. If they don't have a way to transport their pet, or if they can't emotionally handle what's happening at that time, because trust me, you've just lost your best friend, and it hits a lot harder than a lot of people think. That's when you call the Final Ride. When you need that helping hand, when you need that extra shoulder, when you need to know your pet is being taken care of by compassionate and loving pet people, that's when you call the Final Ride. So I hope this video has kind of helped understand what to do in this instance and what to expect, and if you just need the help, who to call. thefinalride.org, you can see our packages, you can see our prices, and just know, if this video helped you in any way, share it and hit follow, because it's going to help us reach more people, and the more people we see is the more people we can help, because this process is going to happen. Pet passing is inevitable, and we're there to assist.